Hello everyone. Now we will take the last topic of the chapter, oxidation reactions applications in our daily life. Oxidation reaction, as we know already, a reaction in which oxygen is added. So in our daily life, we can see this addition of oxygen in the form of either corrosion or in the form of rancidity. So let's start with the first application of oxidation as corrosion. Corrosion is a very common term. You might have heard it many a times. It is the procedure in which any metal, either when it combines with oxygen or carbon dioxide or sulfur or hydrogen sulfide present in air, in presence of water. Water's presence or the moisture's presence is very important for the process of corrosion. So, whenever we also often call the air as moist air, whenever it is accompanied with large number of water molecules. So, whenever a metal in the moist air, where it combines with oxygen, it forms a compound called as oxide. When the same metal, when it combines in moist air with carbon dioxide, then it forms a new substance called as metal carbonate. And the same metal in moist air, when it combines with sulfur or hydrogen sulfide present in air, then it forms a new substance called as metal sulfides. So in all the three cases where a metal, when slowly combines with moist air with either of these three components and forms their respective compounds, either oxides or carbonates or sulfides, then such a process is called as corrosion, where the original metal loses its properties in terms of its bright, shiny appearance and gets covered with another layer of compounds which are ultimately going to form. It may be either of oxide layer or maybe of carbonate layer or maybe of sulfide layer. So let's take an example, a very common example of corrosion. When we take iron metal under the process of corrosion and it gets combined with moist air present in generally this is more commonly visible in rainy season. So when iron slowly reacts with moist air during rainy season, then we find that a brown colored coating of iron oxide, that is ferric oxide, is obtained, and that brown colored layer on the iron metal is called as rust. So, the process under which the formation of rust takes place is also called as rusting. So, rusting is a very common process visible to us in our surroundings, but this rusting term is only to be used for with metal iron. We cannot use the term rusting with any other metal. So, rusting can be considered as a kind of corrosion where the strong metal iron loses its strength when it combines with moist air and forms a brown colored coating of iron oxide over it, named as rust. So, the rusted iron will have a less strength as compared to the solid non-rusted iron metal. So this is first example where the oxide of metal is formed, as we have mentioned on the top. Another example of copper. Copper vessels are normally available in our houses. So copper vessel can be identified by a brown colored metal. So a reddish brown metal, copper, when combines with moist air, and in that moist air it combines with carbon dioxide gas, then it forms a new compound. That new compound is called as basic copper carbonate. Now this basic copper carbonate formation can be identified by a coating of green layer. A green layer coating is visible on the utensils, copper utensils, when they are undergoing the process of corrosion. So, whenever the copper undergoes corrosion, it forms a green coating of basic copper carbonate by combining with carbon dioxide in the moist air. So, now the third example of corrosion, where the silver metal, we all are familiar with the silvery shining of the silver articles, silver jewelry. So, whenever silver articles they combine with sulfur or hydrogen sulfide present in moist air. Moist air is very important. The presence of water and oxygen is helping the corrosion process. So, when they combine together, then the silver shiny appearance of the silver articles changes to black. The silver jewelry most commonly converts to black coating. That is a very common observation in our daily life. So it is due to the formation of silver sulfide along with hydrogen gas release. So these are all three examples of corrosion. Though this process is a very slow process, but it is a destructing process where the metals are losing their properties and they become useless after the process of corrosion gets over. So this is the first application of oxidation reaction. Another very common example of oxidation reaction is rancidity. Rancidity is a process in which it is very commonly visible, like any food item, if it will be kept for a long time, maybe for 2 years or 5 years or 3 years or some more time, then it comes in contact with oxygen present in air, and then spoilage of food takes place. That after addition of oxygen, the food loses its natural taste, natural odor, whatever it contains, that is all been lost, and it converts into a bad taste and bad odor. So the process in rancidity can be considered as a process in which the food gets oxidized, the food which contains the oil or the fats inside them. So these oil and fats get oxidized and the resulting into the spoilage of food. So this spoilage of food is highlighted by the bad taste as well as the bad odor. You might have enjoyed the Lay's chips packet. So normally in a Lay's chips packet, the quantity of chips remains very small, and the most of the volume of the packet is filled with a gas. So in order to prevent our food items from undergoing the process of rancidity, there are certain ways by which we can reduce this process. The one is by creating a vacuum. Vacuum means whenever the presence of air will not be there anywhere, so definitely the exposure of the food item with the oxygen will get reduced. Another thing, airtight packing. Airtight packing is also very much helpful in reducing the process of rancidity. Third is refrigeration. We used to keep the food items inside the refrigerator in order to prevent their exposure to oxygen in normal air. And the last one is using certain chemicals called as antioxidants. There are certain chemicals available in the market which can be helpful in order to reduce the rancidity process in the food items. So by any of these means, we can easily reduce the rancidity process. Like nitrogen, the one more example is there, that is of nitrogen gas. As I was discussing the example of Lay's chips, the nitrogen is a non-reactive gas. So the filling of nitrogen with the inside the chips packet will cut off the exposure of food items with that of oxygen. So in this way it will be very helpful in order to reduce this. That's all for this. Thank you.